welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a more serious video. Yeah, there'll be jokes and all that fun stuff, but I really want to highlight one of my great friends, Brett, who went through a traumatic experience. So we all go through traumatic experiences or issues in our lives that teach us lifelong lessons that help us mold into the individuals we are. Whether we make it a positive impact or a negative impact, something always happens. So I really want you to meet my friend Brett and hear his story. We're gonna spill some tea. Brett said that the Red Sox wouldn't win. Oh, this is Brett, by the way. So, Brett, what is it about the Red Sox?
Yeah, you know what? They better win.
I mean, you're a Yankee fan. You're only saying that because your team lost. Not dropping my cup because I could never let the Red Sox down.
Just like my Yankees let me down.
No shade. I'm gonna get one of those sweatshirts. Alright, no, but on a serious note, everyone, this is my best friend Brett. Brett and I have been friends for what? Almost 4 years now?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Brett supported me through multiple theater productions. Even before that, okay, I don't remember, but I think in one of my very first videos, I was never into theater, okay? That was Brandon's thing in high school. Me, no, not at all. I did cheerleading here and there, pageants of course, but acting, not my thing. So then I go to SUNY Sullivan and there's this Brett in my math class who talked to me like Evan Hansen. If you guys have seen or know about Evan Hansen, that's Brett. Brett's the real life Evan Hansen. But anyways, I want you guys to meet Brett. So, Brett, can you please, start off by telling us who you are or about yourself?
So, I'm Brett Hughes. I'm a junior at SUNY Plattsburgh studying theater with a minor in entertainment technology. SUNY Plattsburgh is a whole different environment. Being up in the Adirondacks, it just feels like home. You get this vibe when you visit, and, there's 3 venues across campus, and I've worked in every single one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I work on campus doing events, lighting, sound, whatever they need.
So
we're there.
Cool. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Seeing how you've grown, because you want to tell them they don't know about some of the productions you've been in.
Oh God. So I started theater 10th grade in high school. My first show was Guys and Dolls. I started really late compared to the rest of my friends, because all of my friends were like, theater, yeah. And I'm just the introverted kid who's just not doing anything.
Evan Hansen.
Yep. Evan Hansen. So I started in 10th grade with Guys and Dolls. I did dramas and the rest of the musicals in high school. And then I got to SUNY Sullivan, and my plan wasn't originally to do theater.
I didn't know that.
No, I was going to go to SUNY Potsdam for music management.
Oh yeah.
I was a voice student at the time, and I was singing, and I got to SUNY Sullivan, and that's where I met Jessica Lopez-Barkle, who just turned me on to theater. She was like, take these classes, see how you feel. And I just showed up to auditions one night for the first show there, Insurrection. And that was just a fun show to do. I mean, it was very serious, but also it had lighter moments. And then we did Life is a Dream, where I played a clown character.
Buck?
No, Clarine.
Oh.
Yeah, Clarine was Life is a Dream. And then we did Ragtime, which was our first show together.
Not the Ragtime was a bad show. That's the face I'm making. It was just
it was very strenuous.
Our rehearsals were from 6 p.m. to 1 in the morning sometimes. Tech week.
So,
it was a rough go.
It was a rough go, but you know what?
We did.
We did it. I mean, we did have to drag you into to Jesse's office to get you to actually do it, but...
Do you want to tell them how you...
So, we're hanging out in the student union one day at SUNY Sullivan, and me and my friend Tyler see this girl, and she's singing, and we know her, but we don't really, know her. But we needed people for the musical. So we're like, you, come with us. We literally have to drag her to our director's office because she's like, no way.
I only went because I remembered Tyler when he told me the story about Rusty, which I'm not gonna say it here, but that's a funny story. So yeah.
So we did Ragtime, which was a fun show for both of us because we both learned a lot about ourselves during that show. And then we did Assassins, which
that was my favorite.
That was hands down our best show. For us, we thought it was our best show. You were Squeaky Fromm, and I was Leon Cholgosh. And we actually went to KCACTF after that.
We did.
You know, you got nominated for the Irene Ryan. I was an alternate, but we still went anyway. And then there's Marshall County Line.
That show makes me want to cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, show wife.
Yeah, we were married. Well, no, we weren't.
No, we
were engaged.
Yeah.
But that show was just like...
so strenuous.
If you think about it, that show was like being on an acid trip. If like you're watching it, think about it. There's Claude and Julia have their thing. What is it?
It was Claude, Julia,
Peyton, or Izzy and
Marianne, Lucius and Francine,
and then Bubble. I almost call him Bubbles. Boo Boo's part.
Catfish.
Yeah. So literally, there was like 7 different relationships going on. And then at one point, there's a costume party. So I wasn't my character. I was Catwoman. And you were a monkey. And then there was angels. Like angels and devils.
There was
dancing
a lot of stuff. If you go on YouTube, actually, you can find the first 10 minutes of it. Yeah.
No.
So then we graduated, went our separate ways. You went to Wheelock, and I went to SUNY Plattsburgh.
Except now Wheelock doesn't exist. Rest in peace.
So yeah.
Alright. So, now, what do you do for a living? I mean, I don't know if you're working right now, but we'll get back into that part later. But where do you work?
Originally, I worked at Bethel Woods as a stagehand. I started doing that last summer. I worked 4 shows. It was Luke Bryan, another country show, and then REO Speedwagon Styx.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this season, I actually worked every show up until before my accident. And I work at the racetrack, and I just take random side jobs.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to make some money here and there. Stilting.
He stilts.
Professional still walker. Add me on Facebook if you want still gigs. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff. A lot of theater, a lot of racing and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I know just now you said you went through an accident, and your summer started off like pretty freaking great, right? You know,
yeah.
Bethel Woods, the racetrack.
We were having a great time, actually.
I know, right? We would sit at the reservoir in the bed of your truck with friends and just
we were
get
just
coffee.
Chilling out,
fun.
Living life.
And then we went to the fair with Tommy.
Oh my God, that was fun.
Right? And then...
we were doing separate, you were all over the place, and I was all over the place. We were just...
It was great.
We lived it up this summer.
We did. We were getting ready to go back to school. I'm going to be you.
We didn't fight this summer.
We didn't argue this summer.
We did not at all, and it was great.
Okay. I'm like a mother to, I don't want to, that's weird, but I'm like a second mom to you, but like someone that's your age, even though you're older than me, I'm like, no, I'm that naggy, annoying sister that I am to my brothers, but like...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just very protective of my friends, and I don't really stick up for myself, but if my friends are hurt, I won't attack anyone, that's not my thing, but I will, you'll know when I'm upset with you. I won't, say anything that will hurt anyone, but...
If she starts texting you in lowercase letters, you know you
No, one-word answer is K. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So, can you discuss, that... I know it's hard, because it must be, I don't want to say triggering for you.
Yeah.
But can you talk about, what happened and, what you remember?
So... let's start a week before that. A week before that, we were at Bagel Fest.
Oh, yeah,
I was stilting there. We were having a great time. I'm living life, and August 18th rolls around. I was supposed to leave for Plattsburgh on the 26th.
You were at the fair day. No, after. It was after, right? I think the 17th.
Yeah. The 17th was, yeah. So, August 18th, it was around 5:30, I want to say. You know, I'd been working at the racetrack all day, and I'm saying my goodbyes, and I'm going through my day, and everything's okay up until this point. And there was a piece of debris on the track, and we were under caution, so I figured I'm going to go out there and get it. The cars just didn't have anywhere to go. They were 3 wide going on the track, and I'm flagging, I'm trying to get him to move. He can't see me, I can't really do anything, and next thing you know, I was struck by a race car. It was weird because it happened so fast, but everything went down so slowly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what went through your mind when you're, like, seeing that car come towards you?
Well, I thought a lot of things. Really, when you hear about people getting struck by race cars, the thought is like, oh my god, like, are they gonna live?
Yeah.
What's gonna, because, you know, a couple of years ago up in Canandaigua, the whole Tony Stewart incident happened. And, you know, that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna get into that. Not my place, but it hurt.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, because you have everything going for you up until a certain point. But, you know, it sucked.
I bet. And, like, you said you didn't know really what was going to happen because, I mean, I was home. The weird thing is I texted Brett at 5:30, okay? I was at the fair. I wasn't near him, but I was like, I feel like something's up. So I texted Brett. It was literally at 5:30. And, I was like, hey, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. Like, you didn't answer me. And I knew he was at the track, but I was just like, something felt weird. And I even asked Tommy, our friend Thomas, if Brett was okay. So then it's like, I think 11:50 at night now, and I still haven't heard from Brett. And I'm home, and I get a phone or a Facebook message from his mom. It was, Brianna, call me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm already scared. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Something bad happened. And my mom even had a feeling. So I'm sitting in my kitchen on this little stool now, and my mom comes in. And, like, I guess the color went through my face, because Brett's my best friend. I have, like, 2 best friends. Well, 3, including my boyfriend, of course. But, like, Brett, Ariana, and Lucas, they're, like, the closest people in my life. I'm not saying, like, anyone else isn't, but, I just, like, something, like, I don't even know. Something, like, I felt so wrong. So I call his mom. She doesn't answer the first time. So I'm like, oh, my God, what is happening? Something bad is going on. Then finally she calls me back and she was like, Brianna, Brett was hit by a race car. And then she was silent. So I'm like, what? Is he okay? Apparently I said, is he dead? Which is not the greatest thing to say to someone's mother when their son was just hit by a race car. But I don't remember saying that. I genuinely thought I said, is he okay?
Yeah.
You were okay? You talked to me a little bit?
Yeah, I think I messaged... No. I called you at some point, right?
I was right after. Your mom was like coming into the room. She gave you the phone. And like just hearing the words like, I'm okay, Brie, that was enough for me. But I could tell like the pain.
Yeah, and it was very painful.
Yeah. Do you remember anything like when you were in the helicopter? Like what was your last vivid memory from not being in the hospital, but like before you were in the hospital?
I remember everything.
Okay.
Like I remember being hit. I remember hitting the ground. I remember being in the ambulance. Remember them telling me that I'm going to be airlifted. I remember them putting me in the helicopter and originally leave it to me to get hit by a car on the day where the weather is terrible.
Okay. But like literally I'm not putting any shade onto the racetrack at all.
Oh God, no.
But because I think it's really cool what they do. I've never been, but like I've seen photos. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about not doing anything else with the racetrack because you wanted to focus on your acting career or lighting and tech, all that fun stuff, so you could really, like, you know, get a good, stable job. Not saying that that job is not stable, but for your major.
Well, and originally last year, we talked about it last year, too. I took a year off last year from the racetrack because we were doing Courage and we were stilting everywhere. We were
Yeah.
stilting all over the place.
It's just mind-boggling. That was supposed to be your last day at that racetrack. And then this incident happened, and I can definitely see a difference in you. And I don't mean it in a bad way.
Oh, God,
like,
no.
before you were very, like, I don't want to say scatterbrained, but you were all over the place. You're like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I got to get with this girl, not in, like, a bad way, but you're really passionate about, like, you know, caring for that person.
Yeah.
And then, oh, but I got to go do this at school. Oh, but But you would never really think about, like, what makes Brett happy. And I can definitely see that change. Like, you're doing so great in math when you've struggled before, which I'm so proud of you. Like, you've come so far with that. But I want to go back to, like, when you were in the hospital, because, you know, I'm studying psychology, so I'm really passionate to learn about how people excel in, again, a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
So, how did it feel learning how to walk again? Because I remember when I was 8 and I had to learn how to walk again, my spinal fusion, it hurt so bad, like, I don't want to be gross, but I threw up all over the floor, and I remember it was blue because I had a ring pop, but it's just, like, It's
definitely hard, you know. The first, like, I can remember it, the first 2 weeks after my surgery, I'd be walking around the house with my walker, obviously.
Yeah.
And I would swing my leg forward, and it would just hurt in the hip, like, and then eventually, you know, I went down to Scranton, and I got my staples taken out. And I was we talked that day, I was so happy, because they took the immobilizer off, 19 staples out. Completely. Wow. And they told me you have a 5-pound weight limit for putting weight on your foot.
Now you're...
Which, by the way, is a little weird, because how can you tell when you're putting 5 pounds of pressure through your foot? Totally different.
Especially when you're in that much pain, you can't really tell, like...
Exactly. And what's weird is I haven't really felt pain from this. Mm-hmm. But 7 weeks later, I'm up and walking. Like, today was the first day I hit the treadmill, which was, like...
Proud of you.
So, it was hard, but honestly, I've been moving along really quickly.
You're walking with it. Like, the last time I saw you was at SUNY Sullivan, and you were still in the wheelchair, but kind of using the walker a little bit, and now you showed up to my house, and you, like, not ran, but you were speed walking. I'm like, what? Without a walker, without a cane, without a crutch, without the wheelchair, like...
No brace or nothing, you know?
So, a lot of people... I mean, I kind of thought that you would be really mad at the driver at first, but no, he visited you, right after. Can you talk about how that made you feel?
Oh my God, so... When everything happened, night of, a few of the guys put their cars on the trailers. Like, they weren't going to race the rest of the night. And the track photographer was like, no, that's not what he would have wanted. And they actually went back out there and raced. For you. Yeah. For me. And I felt, like, amazing, because these guys, you know, you see them on a weekly basis, and... Racing in itself is, like, you have your own family.
Definitely, I could see that, yeah.
And Ray was, like, he was really upset about it, but he was the first person I saw when I got out of surgery. And, you know, we had talked about it for a while. You know, he came, he sat by my bedside, we talked. You know, I have no resentment towards anybody.
No.
You know, we're actually really close, and... The last racing event, actually, I want to bring this up because it's really kind of funny. So, we did a couple of street stock races for this big race. Mm-hmm. And Ray raced his way into the feature, where you have to redraw for starting position. So I'm sitting by the grandstands, and they're redrawing, everybody's redrawing, and then it's time for Ray to redraw. Ray doesn't reach in the bucket. He tells me to come over, and he has me redraw for him. Now, I'm terrified, because, you know, when somebody asks you to redraw for him, that's a big deal, because you don't want a bad spot to start the race. So, I reach into the bucket, and I pulled out number 1, meaning that he would start on the pole for the race. So, we've had this amazing friendship, and I'm so happy because... You know, I've grown closer to my racing family, and to him, and to his family as well, you know.
I can't imagine how difficult this all was. So what is one really difficult thing out of like this whole entire experience? What is the most difficult thing you've had?
I think that the most difficult thing was not being able to go back to school. Because as you know, my connection to my Plattsburgh friends is very strong. Even though I've only been there for 2 semesters, the amount of stuff that we've done together in 2 semesters was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, like, I spend as much time in the theater up there as I did here. And that, like, if I wasn't in the union or I wasn't in the lobby, where was I?
The theater.
So I think that was really hard because, I love all the friends that I make. I love the experiences that I've had up there. Some are good, some are bad. You're not gonna have, nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have straight aces everywhere you go. So that's definitely the most difficult thing. It's not the surgery, it's not the walking, it's none of that. Because, I was so determined to like go back and there's so much that I could have done this semester. And we talked about that.
Every day I can't wait to go back to Platts. Breezy, let's go to Platts.
Let's go to Platts.
Let's go to Platts.
Go to the 518.
And it's true. I think a lot of people forget that there's a lot of like psychological issues that come out of experiences like you went through. They think about, oh, it's just the pain is bad. I feel bad for them because of the pain. Yes, the pain is bad. Like,
oh yeah,
it hurts a lot, and I know from experience with all the surgeries, but it's really missing out on opportunities that you could have had, or when you see other people doing the things that you were supposed to do, it's heartbreaking. Like a little like piece of you breaks a little bit. And I don't want to sound selfish or anything, because like it's really good to see the people you love doing those things, but it's like, wow, that could have been me,
Oh, of course. And I love seeing my friends succeed up there.
Of course.
And they tell me all the time like what they're doing, and I love it because I'm always telling them how I'm doing down here. It's for them, it's how are rehearsals, how are your shows going, how are classes, but how is your life? Like, how is your life? Because we can't always be all work all the time.
Exactly.
We have to check out every once in a while. So I love hearing how my friends are doing outside of that.
Definitely.
And yeah.
So I know they did like this fun little like ceremony for you
Oh my God.
on the tracks. Can you tell us about that?
So I get back to the track the week after my accident. Nobody expected me to be there.
No, I did.
Like nobody, because I was still in the wheelchair, and we hadn't gotten the wheelchair till like the Thursday of that week. And I show up, and I'm talking to everybody, and I'm talking to the announcer, and I'm joking around with him. I say, "Hey Andy, let's have a wheelchair race tonight. We got a spare one," and he's just like, "We can make this happen." So he goes and talks to somebody, and apparently it just spread that we were doing this wheelchair race. And at intermission, next thing I know, Ray's behind me. He's pushing me to the turn where we're starting the race, and Andy's in the other wheelchair, and Dawn, one of our photographers, is pushing him while Ray is pushing me. So this race starts, and we are just gone. Like, we're having a great time because we're just racing, and it's all in fun. And the race is over, and they start talking to me about how I'm doing emotionally and physically and where we're at. And they walk around me, and they have this banner. This banner that was signed by tons of people. Drivers, fans, everybody that was there that night was signing this thing. And I see this, and you can see it in the video. I've almost cried. And it made me feel so grateful because, here I am, 21-year-old kid who just walked away from something that most people can't say they did.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of people behind me ready to support me, and it's been nothing but 100% from my racing family, my theater family, and my actual family as well. So it made me feel great.
Like when I saw that video, it was finally like, wow, Brett's back, my friend's back, because I don't want to say like lost who you were after the incident, but I definitely feel like you had your like little downside where you didn't really know what to do. You'd come to me like, Breezy, how do I do this? And I just felt so bad because like I knew how to talk to you, but I knew like it's different when you've been sick your whole life and talking about it. So like when someone just randomly gets sick, because if Brett did not jump over the car or jump and try to jump over the car, Brett would have died. So there's that psyche in his head, you know, like, wow, yeah, I could have died, but like I can't go to school. I can't do any of these things. So it's really hard to like talk to someone when this is something they've never been through before. So I know like all that's been negative, but what is one positive outcome out of this whole entire experience?
I think that this outcome has made me stronger.
Definitely.
Mentally and physically. I mean, yeah, I have a cool rod in my leg. And everything's healing up fine, but I just feel better. Because, you know, before the accident, we had talked countless times about this.
Yeah.
I just wasn't happy.
No,
I weren't. Even the things that I loved, you know, being a stagehand and working all these concerts, you know, I would tell you, I hate going to work. Mm-hmm. But then this happened. And now I feel, I don't want to say reborn, but I feel reborn in a way. Because I have this ambition to just go, and I want to go and do things. And, you know, we're way ahead of what? Recovery. Definitely. We are way ahead. Because I'm already walking. I can't drive. Haven't done it yet.
You will.
We're gonna hold off on that for a while, but yeah, that's the
Maybe I'll sneak and have you drive my car. I'm just kidding. Your grandma would kill me. Oh, nice. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Grandma, if you're watching, that's not actually gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But you've helped me so much, and I want to thank you for that. You know, you've seen me at my worst, when I'm told I might have surgery again, when I'm told, like, you know, the cancer scare I'm going through. And I don't want to make this about myself at all, because this is about you, and I want to, like, give you closure. But how has, like, seeing what me go through kind of helped you in a way?
I just see how you handle things. You know, you're never, like, you have these scares. Mm-hmm. But you're like, it's going to be okay. You know, it's fine. I've kicked it before. I can do it again. And I see that and I'm like, that's the mentality. You know, because having this positive attitude probably has helped a lot. Mm-hmm. Because, and everybody's pointed this out, if this happened to anybody else, and I'm not saying that everybody's the same, most people would still be in bed saying, poor me, poor me, poor this, and poor that.
That is so true.
But, you know, you and I, you know, even through ragtime, I could see it when you were going through your scare, and there were times where I just wasn't feeling. I found out my kidneys were all messed up, and we were going through the same thing. It's
ginger ale and cranberry juice. Kidney fix. You don't feel good? Ginger ale and cranberry juice.
It works, but yeah, I see how you go through it, and I just take that mentality, and I'm like, all right, we're going.
Thank you. And that's like my goal, and as I've been saying on YouTube, like that's why I started the YouTube channel, because I really want to be a role model for others and not necessarily like always discuss about my challenges, because I don't want to be a story time where I'm just like, oh, poor me, because that's not who I am. But I really want to showcase others and how they've excelled through their endeavors and their challenges. And now I want to change things up. If you, okay, so you went through this experience. If you saw someone else going through this traumatic experience, how would you, in a way, help them cope with it? Like, what would you tell them?
I would honestly tell them, and this is such a generic thing to say, and everybody says it all the time, keep your head up.
It's true.
Everybody says it, but from what I've found through this experience and past experiences, is 50% of those people actually mean to keep your head up, to keep your head, like your thoughts positive, to keep moving. Because if you stay stagnant, you know, you're not going to heal as quick.
No, you're not.
You know, and, you know, you being a psychology major, you understand the impact that positive thinking has on the body.
Yes, the more negativity you put out into the world, the more negative activity you're going to get back.
Yeah, so positive thinking towards, you know, like, oh, I'm going to be better in no time. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be stilting in no time, or we're going to be working in no time. And
yes. And, like, as we learned in psychology, especially, like, child development, it's kind of similar because, like, your environmental settings have an impact on your development.
Yeah.
So if the people around you are going to be negative, you're going to be negative. So that's why you also have to be positive. So I see these quotes all the time as, oh, I hate when people tell me to be positive. They can't live, or they don't live in my shoes, things like that. But that's the example of being negative, and that's when you're going to get negative energy back. So when someone says be positive to you, it's not that they're just like, they think that you're not, I mean, it's not that they think that your situation is not as bad as others. It's that they genuinely mean, like, keep your head up, stay focused, focus on things that make you happy. Because, again, if you're just going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm so upset. And, like, I'll admit, sometimes I suffer from depression. I mean, I feel like everybody does.
oh, yeah.
But it really, like, when someone tells you to be positive, be thankful, because at least someone is there talking to you. At least you're not alone, that someone is making an effort to make your environment a positive setting.
And I think the one thing that just helped me is that, you know, like we said earlier, I went back the week after. I sat sat where it happened, and I sat there for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I thought about it, and I was like, okay, we're here. I've been back there every week since.
And I'm proud of you for that.
And, you know, I think that my love for racing has grown more since this than it was before.
Definitely. Well, I'm really proud of you. And I really hope you guys gained something from watching this. I want you to remember to really think about the people around you. Appreciate those who are there for you. Don't take anything for granted, because you don't know what could happen. I mean, if, like I said,
if I hadn't jumped,
he could have died, and then I would have lost one of my best friends. And
we wouldn't be doing this awesome video.
No, we wouldn't be trying to inspire others and to make a difference. So please don't take anything for granted. And this is kind of a different note, but, like, watch what you're writing about someone as well, because, you know, we're talking about positivity. You never know what one thing could really, like, hurt someone. It could just be something like, I don't care. And, like, if they're asking for help and you're like, well, I'm too busy, I don't care. That could really harm someone.
Words have impact, you know?
Yeah, so really pay attention, be aware of your surroundings, and try to help those around you that really need it. But I'm really glad you got to join me. I am so proud of you. It's like I said, Brett's back, and I don't want to say better than before, because you're always great, but it's a new Brett. Yeah, it's a more positive Brett.
We have
more balanced,
different impact, outlook on life right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
I could fly.